Hey y'all, let's make dinner for my kids. So there we have noodles.
Not drink bean juice.
Let's make dinner. 32 mom of 7 living in a hotel. They've turned this thing into a trend. They've turned it into a trend.
Chicken and some little cabbage to go with it. So what I'll be doing, yeah, I'm gonna break the noodles up. So y'all know I stay in a hotel, so we can't cook in this hotel after microwave food. So I made them their noodles and put some sauce in it. Now y'all, I do split these noodles. Depends on the circumstances. So saying
This is so sad. This is so sad. And the reason why I have to laugh, people, is because when it's bad enough, that's just my go-to. Right? You guys have seen me do this many times. Deep down inside, you see that we blurred the kids there in the background. Here's the problem with this, right? Is this has now become a means for a lot of these chicks getting support. They don't want to lift up the families or women who are married, who are present in their kids' life. This is what they're supporting right now, right? Now, a lot of people are out there calling this out, but there's still a lot of people who are looking at this and saying, we need more of this. Guys, you think I'm joking, but maybe some of you understand that the level of ignorance out here is really crazy. There are literally people out here saying being a single mom with 7 kids is a blessing.
This coffee smells like shit.
And that coffee smells like shit. Let's keep watching.
so. I'm gonna get them a little bit of noodles here. Get them 1 piece of chicken. These little cabbage things, those pretty good. Stop chins. And then we're gonna go with the
What's up with the shirt? You know? Like she doesn't have a shirt. Is that a crop top? I don't know what's going on there. Is she pregnant also? That's it. Because the last one, the last one was pregnant. The last one was also pregnant, bro. Listen, of course I'm curious to know what you guys think. This is insane.
Now, they don't eat much. My kids do play over food, so I'm going to get them a little portion of everything.
What's that? Is that what?
They got them some fruits, and it's what they're going to be eating for tonight.
Is that watermelon?
Due to some leak in the bed, so I'm just going to get them a little bit of soda.
Death in a cup.
And this is their dinner for tonight. Come on. Come eat your food.
Here's what I think is interesting about this, right? Because some people are going to say, oh, you're laughing at it. If I'm not supposed to laugh at it because it's sad, then isn't this a sad situation, right? You have to pick. Is it a sad situation? This is strictly to the people who look at this and say, I don't see anything wrong with this. Something tells me the way that she's doing this, she kind of knows that this is going to garner attention. You know, I don't think young babies, toddlers should be drinking soda. Now, that may be a controversial statement right there. Let me know, guys. I'm a bit picky with kids. I only have one. I'm not as experienced as maybe some other people. I'm learning. I'm not perfect out here, but I have what I can handle.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So far, right? This is crazy. I can't believe that we're actually seeing more of this coming out of the woodworks. as usual, I'm left speechless here on the coffee pod. But I did see somebody who said this is looking like the Struggle Olympics, and this is Dana who said that. So let's check out what she had to say.
I don't know what type of Struggle Olympics y'all are on this app training for. We still trying to process the 26-year-old with 6 kids. And now we got somebody else who done entered the chat that's 32 with 7 children, currently pregnant. And she's somewhere living out of a hotel.
Is she?
And splitting.
So she is currently pregnant. I didn't want to be rude. But she is currently pregnant. That is insane. I know you guys want me to just play the video, but at some point you have to separate yourself, right?
1 pack of oodles and noodles between 8 people. I wish the resilient Jenkins never came on this app, because ever since they came on this app, now all of y'all struggling, down bad, pathetic excuses for parents are getting on this app, and y'all are dry begging. Are you directly asking for money? No. But you putting these captions letting us know just how poor of choices that you're making.
Right.
Oh, I'm 26 with 6 kids. I'm 32 with 7 kids living out of a hotel. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, right? You know how to draw the attention in for how bad what you got going on is. And you know that this app is full of a bunch of people who like to watch a train wreck. A bunch of people who like to feel superior to people who doing bad, so it can make them feel better about what they got going on with their life.
Right.
All right. So you get on here, you do your little dry begging, you try to get your views up, you try to hit that 10K so you can start getting them TikTok checks. And here's my word of advice, and I keep on saying it. If y'all gonna keep on building up these people, don't get mad when they show their true colors on who they really are. And I don't like the fact that y'all are trying to capitalize off of y'all kids at their expense, right? It's bad enough that you won't stop having them, but now you trying to use them to make money off social media, and you don't care how it's going to affect them in their real life, right? You showing just how down bad y'all lifestyle is, as if your kids don't got to go to school and interact with other children.
That is a fact. I think the kid part of exposing them to a mass amount of eyeballs with people who have different types of opinions, like, you got to think about that as a parent, right? And viewers should not be more responsible than parents. Viewers should not be more responsible than parents. Don't put extra responsibility on viewers, on commenters, than you are putting on parents. That makes absolutely no sense at all. I don't know what to do with this type of thinking and logic at the end of the day. I don't know what to do. Right? I think the best thing that can come out of this is somebody else who might be close to making a decision like this, whether it's putting themselves in a situation where they're exposing their bad situation, or whether it's somebody who already has kids and they may be encouraged by like, I've had enough, let me not make that decision again. Or a man out there who's decided he doesn't want to be the bum, because yes, they are bums, right? The pookie who's out here impregnating everything he can see and touch. Or ideally, a young person who's looking at this and saying, you know what, my life is not going to look like this. This is not the standard I want to set for myself. Because in the end, we know that the children suffer.
Yeah, y'all are some pathetic excuses for parents, all right? Ain't no way that these are gonna be the kids that Whitney Houston thought was gonna be our future. Ain't no way. These kids are gonna be cooked. It's the worst of the worst who procreating the most and having the most children. The people who halfway decent either ain't having kids, or they having 1, maybe 2 at the most. But the ones who just won't stop pumping them out are the worst ones, right? The worst ones who don't even need to be raising dogs, let alone kids. Those are the main ones who won't stop popping the kids out. I done said since the time I got on this app that y'all don't care about these kids, and y'all just continue to keep proving me right. Y'all being more concerned about these mothers' mental health than you are the children that they dumping trauma onto and creating mental problems for them.
Hold on. She's brewing. She's boring right now. That was a damn good point. More concerned about how she feels and not the children. A lot of you out there watching this right now. Oh my gosh, what about her mental health? What about the kids? What about the children? Chances are we're probably going to blur this video, but just exposing the kids to the rest of the world. Crazy.
All right, that don't even make sense. So they got childhood trauma. And so the best idea that you fools can come up with is that they need to have kids and create childhood trauma onto those kids so that those kids can go and have kids and have childhood trauma. The vicious cycle never stops.
Right.
But y'all can't seem to see that because you're idiots, like I done said before. But keep this stuff off my timeline. I'm tired of seeing it.
Shout out to Dana. You know, one thing is that when she is on point, she's on point. She's been on point a lot. But then you have the detractors. Of course, you know, you have the chicks here who are like, hey, what's the big deal? Check it out.
26 with 6 kids, had her first one at 15, second one at 16.
By the way, this chick here is talking about the last lady who was 26 with like 6 kids and like one on the way. Yeah.
Third one at 17. That's 3 kids before the age of 18. Do you not think that don't mean she had guidance in her life? Obviously. The kid's already here. What y'all want her to do? What y'all want her to do? Like, seriously. What do y'all want her to do? Give them to the system and give up? Then y'all gonna be saying, oh, she a bad mom. I would never give my kids up. Wasn't it just a lady that gave her 4 kids up to the system? Because she wanted to chase her dreams? Because she couldn't take care of them? And y'all was dogging her out? Oh, she's a bad mom. Ain't she? She trying to be a singer. Why is she giving her kids up? This girl had the kids and deciding to take care of them. And it's a problem with that.
Yeah. The real problem, all this sounds good, right? The only problem is she's pregnant right now. She's pregnant right now. Where's the lesson that's been learned here? It's not about she's taking care of the kids and she's owning up to it. No, the point is, why are you continuing to make the same bad mistakes over and over and over again? And if the baby daddy or the father was getting on here trying to justify it, I would have said the same thing. I've done that before in the past. Right? I've addressed it.
Shut up.
Oh.
Shut up.
Damn.
Okay, we get it. 6 kids is
I felt like that was directly to me, though. That came right after, you know.
crazy. Oh, she don't live this lavish lifestyle. Oh, y'all projecting your traumas onto the other kids. We get it. But she had them. And she's taking care of them the best that she can. If you want to take care of them, go get them. Because sitting up down in a woman that's just taking care of her kids on TikTok is not helping her, nor you.
What a pleasant woman. Imagine being trapped with that. Woo. Let's go check out some comments from Dana's video. We didn't really check out any comments over here. Top comment here says, not the struggle Olympics. Somebody else here says, now that is what you call poverty. Not what the 26 with 6 kids life is. All her kids are fed. All her kids have a place to live. Yeah, they need a father, man. Statistical disadvantage. It's not going to end well, most likely. Oh, don't speak that into their life. It's the truth. It's the truth. Drink the coffee. Somebody else here says they always pregnant on top of the little of kids they already got. Somebody else here says 32 with the question mark, 7 kids, hotel, Lord. Here's somebody else who says, may that side of TikTok never find me. Yep. Of course, this one has all the women agreeing. Like this chick who says, thank you. They're pissing me off. Justice for what are you talking about? Okay, somebody else who says, stop normalizing children being born into poverty. That's so sad. We get that, but they are already here. What do you want her to do with them? Well, how about start with not getting pregnant? It's crazy, man. One thing the internet gonna do is judge you regardless. Life is full of judgment. You get judged at your job. You get judged everywhere you go. Welcome to life. This lie that you've been told of there's no judgment, you do get judged. You get judged on a date. Yes, but I think the most disturbing video was this chick right here, who claims that she probably is a former protective child investigator. Listen to what she has to say.
As a former Child Protective Services investigator, I see a mom who is fully providing for her children. She's meeting all of their basic needs. They have a roof. She's feeding them. The children look healthy. In her videos, I see her cooking for these kids, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These look like good meals. I see her cleaning her house. I see her being a present parent. Now, do I agree with the way she talks to her children, the way she parents, and the overall conditions of the house? No, not necessarily. But my standards in parenting and cleanliness does not have to be her standard. And it just looks to me.
I hope you guys are reading between the lines, right? That's not how she would ever do that for her kids. But she's got a different standard for you. Doesn't hold the same standard for you. Now it stops being a thing of, is there a better standard? It's just your unique standard. Your unique standard is poverty, right? This is insane.
To me, like she's doing the best she can. And instead of throwing so much hate at her, we should be helping her. If there's something that she could be doing better, we should be giving her advice. We should be saying things like, hey, maybe there's a different way that you can communicate with your children so you don't cause them trauma. And right now, the mom community is pretty divided on this creator. I can see why people are saying what they're saying. I can see both sides. I understand that there are things in parenting that are inexcusable. But I'm going to kindly remind you that being low income, being poor is not one of them. And if you are showing all of this concern for someone's socioeconomic status, yet you're not doing anything to help them, you're not sending any money to their Venmo, you're not supporting their content so that hopefully they can get a bigger check from TikTok and provide better for their kids. If you're doing all this yapping about how she is a low-income parent, but you're not doing anything to help this person, your concern is performative.
That's not true. That's not true. Listen, you're not responsible for mistakes that other people make, right? This is a horrible stance. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't help, because I love to help people who I feel called to and passionate about helping. But you also have to have boundaries. If you see somebody making the same mistakes over and over again, you have the right to step back and say, I'm not going to even enable or support that. It's not your responsibility. I think that there needs to be a bigger recognition to the young couples, two-parent households out there, people who are working hard to keep their families together, people who are doing the best they can for real, right? For their children. And this is going to hurt. But that needs to be lifted up above what we see here on our screen. It has to start there. Otherwise, you're worried about encouraging and uplifting the wrong people.
Now, I just scrolled upon a 32-year-old mom of 7 kids living in a hotel with her nails done and her belly out, making dinner for her kids, 4 packs of noodles that she split up to 8 plates or whatever. Come on, this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. It's the year 2025. If y'all have not learned how to use birth control, if you've not learned how to do something with your life other than lay on your back and make babies, neglected babies with men who don't give a damn about you, if y'all have not discovered enough of your self-worth to know that you could do more with your life other than keep on having babies, that you're going to lean on people in sympathy to take care of, you think you don't have any value, you can't go to school, get an associate's degree, you can't become a damn nail tech, you can't become a CNA, you can't do nothing. All that you find yourself good for is to be a damn baby making machine. This is absolutely not okay. It's frustrating.
Right.
It's frustrating. I'm tired of seeing these black women romanticize and publicize struggle. And y'all act like these kids just are happening upon you. You all are making these babies. We all know how babies are made. You're not making no progress in your life. You're not making good decisions. You're not making more money. You're not making a better life for yourself. Y'all just making babies with men who obviously don't give a damn about you, because where are you? Somewhere struggling. These kids don't deserve this, and I'm tired of seeing it.
Right.
Struggle secretly, moving forward. I don't want to see struggle all over my For You page. It's embarrassing. Y'all ain't doing nothing but perpetuating the damn stereotypes that already exist about us as black women. I'm over it.
Bring back shame, encourage young people, warn young people to not go in the same direction. Eventually, your life has to stop being about you and has to be about the next generation, you know. And to the people who sit there and they don't understand, well, what's wrong with a single mom having 8 kids and one on the way, living in a hotel room? If you talk to them and they just refuse to understand, you just keep pushing, right? You don't sit there and stress yourself out trying to explain what it is. All right, so moving on. This story is interesting. The caption reads, "To my ex who lured me out of a great marriage and then got me and then cheated on me, F you." I want you to really pay attention to what this woman here is claiming. She's claiming that she was lured out of a great marriage. And the man who she was lured by ended up cheating on her. To me, reading this, I said, wow, the gymnastics here for you to somehow excuse what sounds like you cheated on your husband is actually kind of impressive. Like, how did you even figure this out? How did you figure out how to structure this in a way that if somebody wasn't really paying attention, they might actually believe you? Let's see if people actually believed it in the comment section. Top comment here says, who just came from the dude's video? Here's somebody else who says, I'm so glad that this happened to you. Somebody else who says, he didn't cheat, sweetie. He just got lured out. Yo, that's hilarious. Somebody else here added, I cheated on my husband. So this person's quoting her. I cheated on my husband and then got cheated on by the one I cheated on my husband with. Fixed it for you. Somebody else who says, hate from Nigeria. And here's her. She got so much hate, right, that she decides to come on screen and actually tell the story and thinks that this would actually make the situation a lot more understandable. Check it out.
So I think I need to respond to this post, and thank you, Riley, for bringing up. I need a story time because I think it needs a story because I'm sick of explaining it. So I got pregnant when I was 19 years old. Okay?
Sure.
And my mom was like, "You're getting married." Actually, yeah. No, I gave birth when I was 19, so I was like 18-ish when I was pregnant. So my mom like forced it upon me. She was like, "You're not gonna be one of
An adult.
those mothers who are not married and you're on your own on welfare," because she worked for the welfare department. So she was like, my daughter's not going to be one of them. I deal with that on the daily, and you are going to get married. Now, we loved each other. Yes, we were madly in love. We were high school sweethearts. Yeah. So we were just pregnant. We moved in. My mom's like, you're getting married. So we got married. I was 5 months pregnant when I walked down the aisle. Everyone, it was the talk of the town when a big family, oh my God, she's pregnant. Oh my God. That's why my mom's like, you're getting married. She's not going to be made fun of because her daughter had a baby out of wedlock. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I went with it. I went with it. I was 19. What else was I going to do? And I loved him, like, madly. We were crazy in love with each other. That's why it was a good marriage. We were best friends. So when we got married, he became a bricklayer, okay? So it was a great job in Detroit. And for a long time, I mean, he was building all the buildings downtown, everything like that. We bought a house. We were the only people out of our friends who had a house. Everybody came to our house. It was the party house. We really had a good time. It was a great marriage. It was a great, happy family. Then he started getting laid off all the time because the economy just wasn't what it was. Like, shortly after we got married, I mean, it was like every winter he would get laid off. Every winter, because you can't lay bricks. You can't lay concrete. It's got to be a certain temperature. You know what I mean? So we struggled. We lived paycheck to paycheck every day of our lives. There were always single men all around. All the time there were single men. Every time there was guys that lived across the street. They always flirted. There was always alcohol involved. Everybody was always drinking. Like I said, our house was the party house. So I never did anything, but then there were times like, and I just don't even know. Like, I just don't, that's a whole nother video.
Did she just clarify that there were a bunch of opportunities for her to cheat on other men who she noticed she could have cheated with, and she somehow wants a pat on the back for not cheating? She really tried to start this whole thing out like she was forced into a marriage. Then she says it was great and I was madly in love with him. We are witnessing an unhinged chick here, guys. Yep.
Cut that out, and that'll be another video. I don't know what it meant to take vows, you guys. I was 19, and I probably was ready to pass out from lack of oxygen because I was standing in a church full of everybody there for me and 5 months pregnant, which I hated my pregnancy. I was miserable. I was not the girl who dreamt of getting married and walking down the aisle. No. I want to run the beach and be free and lay in the sun. That's it. No, I don't want to do anything like family. I don't know. I didn't want to do that. I mean, it wasn't my dream. I did it, and I played face for a long time. So he's always laid off. I have to, like, I'm not educated, so I got to go get educated, right?
Did you get educated?
I always waitress at night. So my husband at the time would go to work Brick Lane during the day. Well, that's how it was during the day in the beginning, and then I would go at night when he got home, would cook dinner and everything. As soon as he would come home, we would switch, and he would stay there with the baby at night, and I would go waitress, and then I'd come home. That went on for a while. Then, like I said, he started getting laid off, so then somebody had to go to work. So time for Mama to step up to the plate. So I did. I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm ready. I'm ready to get out of this house. But then I was going to school. I was working at a hospital, working at the hospital, clinical hours at the hospital, and bartending at the same time. And he was just staying home, which is fine. We were a team, but I started losing respect. He started, we just really, hey, the dog always wants to drink my coffee. Benny.
I am disrespected by the fact that she's claiming, which I don't think is true. I don't really believe that there's coffee in that cup. Put that coffee down. Put that cup down. I'm disrespected that she brought up the coffee right now, right? Let's keep in mind that she's talking about losing respect for her husband, all because he hit a financial difficulty within their marriage, right? A phase of him struggling financially. Disgusting.
He's my new man now. That's what I don't have a man. Okay. I live with no man. This is my man.
We believe you.
They rule my world. We just broke apart. It was getting bad, and I had resentment, and there was this guy at my new job who would not stop flirting with me, and he was tall, dark, and handsome, and he said all the right things, and it was the new job I was getting into, and he was like the best at that job, and I just watched him and learned from him every day, and I just was enamored by him, and he never left me alone every day. He just was a talker. My phone was blowing up. He never stopped. It was irresistible. It became irresistible. I was pushing him off of me. But then we went out, all of us, as a group, and we drank. And when alcohol's involved, it's not good. That's why I don't drink anymore. Literally the beginning of the end. I think weeks later, my ex-husband found his receipt in my vehicle. And
she skipped the part where she let him clap the cheeks senselessly.
Who he was, and I think that also he may have started to go into Verizon and start looking at the hundreds and hundreds of text messages that were going on each day between me and the dude.
Hundreds?
Forgives me. What? Forgive me. So in that time, I literally, like I said, it was the beginning of the end, and I broke down, and it was a very quick downward spiral. I'm lucky that I made it out, never losing my job or, also graduating and just getting through all of the stuff that I got through because I was in utter turmoil the entire time.
Oh, poor you. Poor you. Oh my goodness. However did you do it? How's your ex-husband doing, ma'am? We don't care about you. Not over here. Not on the coffee pot.
I got divorced, and then I moved in with the dude. My son didn't want to live with him. I mean, it was just a whole horrible thing. My son just dropped out of school. It was just everything went bad when I got divorced, and I should never have. And I was just delusional the whole time. I was completely delusional. I drank so much alcohol. I could not make decisions properly. My family would not interact with me anymore because I was making such wrong decisions. Nobody liked the guy that I was dating, so I had no support.
What a
they
surprise.
were like just shocked that I left my ex. It's good times, Good times. Good times. No, it was the worst of times, and I don't know how I made it out. It was the grace of God that I made it all out alive.
No, she meant that. She said it was good times, good effing times. She doesn't regret every experience she had with that man. He blew that back out. You can tell, man, this chick, she's craziness.
And now I'm way on the other side, and it's crazy because the boyfriend, you know, the boyfriend, the guy that I left my husband for, he still literally tries. I literally still had to just block him because he still tries to come into my life. And he lives with a girl. So this is how I know that he's just. That's why I can make this video, okay, and say one thing about me is that I know that I'm never like you. Okay, that's what the video is. Why is everyone flipping out over the video? Like, I went into the comments and you know, they hide these comments, and I approved all of these because I want them to be seen. I want all these comments to be seen. I take accountability. If you look in my follow me or anything, I have a series called hard life lessons learned, and that's one of them. The grass is not greener on the other side. Like, I've lived and learned. I have learned. Okay, people, I'm not a narcissist. I live alone, and mostly because I decide to, and I am an isolator. I don't like to be around others, but I don't like to date. I don't know. I am alone, so that's what I get, you know, and it is lonely and sad. But what hurt the most out of all of that was my son, and that's why I would have stayed. Okay, because mothers should, you know, you should give of yourself for your children, and I was only thinking of myself. I was very selfish and drunk and stupid, but now I'm on the other side. Now I'm getting emotional, but there you go, Riley. That's the story.
Wow. Yeah, and you know what? Something tells me the dude probably still has access. Yeah. Hopefully the guy is like moved on. You know, that might have been a good thing for him. Now that we get to the end of the video, what do you guys think? Comment down below. Check out a few of these comments. This top comment says accountability is not found in this video. Somebody else just says, so that's not called being lured. It's just cheating on your spouse. Hope this helps. Here's somebody else who says there ain't a thought behind those crazy eyes. Here's somebody else who says the ex-husband and kid is who I feel bad for. Here's somebody else who added, I think people are flipping out because phrasing infidelity as being lured shows a severe lack of accountability and awareness. Somebody responded back and says, correct, she didn't word it right. You know, people work through infidelity. But this is a different level. This is you running off with a man who everyone hated, who was blowing your mind because he was blowing your back. And you end up having to realize that you both are perfect for a disaster together. Somebody else who says the lights are on, but here's somebody else who added it was everyone's fault, not me. Just crazy, man. Never fails, huh? It just never fails, does it? The accountability just dodged. But to the bitter end, with the dog alone, is what it is. Moving on.
I actually regret getting my BBL sometimes. So I got a BBL back in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. And the reason why I say I hate it sometimes is because the way that it's shaped, is a little, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, like the body still be a little T a little bit, but
right.
In certain stuff, it's giving real boxy. And I don't know. Like, I guess this is for like most people anyways. Like, it ain't even just people with BBLs. Like, if you just have a certain shape, certain things you're just not gonna look good in, you know. And then like my expectation, like I don't know exactly what I expected myself to look like. Like I wasn't even shaped like what I thought I was gonna look like.
Okay, listen, the reason why I'm actually reporting on this, because I've seen a lot of these recently. I've seen videos of women saying, hey, I regret getting a BBL, and it seems like maybe the BBL thing is phasing out slowly. And then I recently saw somebody talking about how they're getting a BBL reduction. We see all the celebrities who are going through like these transformations. We're talking about the female celebrities. And I don't know, are we in a place right now where BBLs are becoming a thing of the past? Hopefully.
Not only that, but like the weight gain. Like when you get your body done and you realize that like you really you start doing certain things, thinking, drinking and eating certain things that you feel like you couldn't have done before because your body already where you needed to be. But it catches up with you, and it catches up with you fast. After a year, like, I was over 200 pounds. No, I'm dragging it. I wasn't 200 pounds. I was probably like 185, but that's close enough to me. I don't know. I feel like I can get more into detail, but those are just some of the reasons.
Yeah, there's that. It seems like that would be the natural progression of BBLs, is that they'll just go out of fashion. I mean, they kind of look dumb. Let's be honest. When you have the elderly, like Vivica Fox, getting BBLs at 60, then you know that it's time to question your whole choice there when it comes to aesthetics. Top comment here says, so many people feel this way but refuse to speak this. So guys, like I said, there are a lot of people right now regretting their BBLs. This man says natural body always going to win. By the way, I feel this way about lashes, makeup, even some like not very drastic surgical procedures. I'm not somebody who says like you should be completely natural, and this is me personally. I'm not a huge strict person when it comes to makeup and weave and stuff. I personally just think it matters to what extent you actually indulge in that thing, right? Are you someone who's caked up with makeup where you look completely different once you take it off? To me, that's a problem. I prefer somebody who's more natural, ideally, but I'm not like completely against the makeup thing. Same thing with hair, right? Like, are you wearing protective styles and no one knows what you're actually protecting because no one's ever actually seen the thing you're protecting? When do people get to see what you're protecting in that hair? When it comes to lashes, right? There's a difference between lashes that can go by unnoticed and lashes where people are embarrassed for you. Sometimes I'm embarrassed for some of these chicks. I see them like, man, why are you walking around like that? And when it comes to surgical procedures, I mean, I see people who've gotten like nose jobs and they're not extreme. You know, they maybe had like this certain nose where people kind of like even things out, or they'll get something minor. That's not a completely different person. I personally look at that and I'm like, but being botched up and BBLs and those procedures being like a high risk procedure is just a whole nother level that I think people are just, playing with fire. Somebody else just says everyone was getting it done with that PPP loan or PPP money. Is that true? That's crazy. Here's somebody else who says a lot of people really feel this way, for real. Do you feel this way? Sounds like a bunch of people are talking about a lot of people feel this way. Do you feel that way? Seems like a lot of people here agree with this. I saw this other video of this chick talking about BBL reduction. Check it out.
I'm getting a BBL reduction in a couple months. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do a series or if y'all would be interested in me doing a series. So I'll be getting some of the fat suctioned out of my booty.
It's crazy.
I'm using this, by the way. Love it. There's so many reasons as to why I'm doing it. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. It's just a lot. My butt is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I can't do it no more. No matter how much I'm in the gym, no matter how much I lose weight, my butt is staying the same size. And I don't like it, It's really messing with my confidence. I was 100 pounds soaking wet my whole 20s, even after I had 2 kids. So I went and got a BBL. Wasn't satisfied with how big it was. Went and got another BBL. And now that I am 33, my BBL is BBL. On the bed, it is 12:11, and I'm acting like I don't got work in the morning.
Okay, that's enough BBL talk. I just thought this was an interesting topic. But do you guys notice how her story, from start to finish, she was never satisfied? Are we surprised? There needs to be a study done on how many of these fast fix methods actually produce satisfaction or even pride in what you've accomplished. There has to be a massive difference between the chick who goes to the gym or the man who goes to the gym and does it the natural way versus the guy who's on a bunch of gear, right? Versus on the woman who's getting a bunch of work done on themselves. There has to be a difference there in satisfaction. It just has to be. But I'm listening to her talk and she says, oh, I wasn't satisfied when I got my first BBL, so I went to go get it even bigger. And now she's talking about getting a reduction. It just sounds like a whole bunch of just unsatisfied, uncontent insecurities, which is honestly sad, right? I think that the best thing you can do for yourself is learn to be kinder to yourself. And this goes for anybody, man or woman. And work on yourself and be real with yourself about what it takes for you to get to the next level in your life, right? This is a general rule, but fast fixes usually never fix anything at all. And while BBLs are something that may be attention grabbing on Instagram and men may want to look at, they're not taken into serious consideration when men want a serious, healthy, long-term relationship. Moving on.
Another day, another baby mama trouble for Elon Musk. This time it is with his most recent baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, who called the paparazzi today to come outside of her apartment so they could see her sell her Tesla that Elon Musk once gifted her. She described the way she was selling the Tesla. So that's a pretty serious claim against Elon, which may be true. Obviously, Ashley knows what she's doing here. She also went on to bring up...
So she's selling the Tesla because of a 60% reduction on child support. Did I hear that right? It says, I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut. That Elon made to our son's child support. That's insane, bro.
So that's a pretty serious claim against Elon, which may be true. Obviously, Ashley knows what she's doing here. She also went on to bring up modus operandi, which is a phrase that Elon likes to use. And then she also mentioned the stock price dropping. Ashley's goal here, I assume, was to get Elon's attention, and it did. I will give her, she got Elon's attention a few times now. And he said, I don't know if the child is mine or not, but I'm not against finding out. No court order is needed, despite not knowing for sure. I've given Ashley $2.5 million, and I'm sending her $500,000 a year.
That's
Ashley
crazy.
then said, hey, Elon, we asked you to confirm paternity through a test before our child, who you named, was even born. You refused. She said that Elon withdrew the money, most of it to maintain control and punish me for disobedience. Then she went on to say that it's ironic that your last effort in court was to try to gag me while you use a social media channel you literally own to distribute derogatory messages about me and our child to the entire world. It's all about control with you, and everyone can see it. What a stunt from Ashley. Nasty, nasty work, but it worked.
It worked, but this is embarrassing, right? This is embarrassing. As someone who's a fan of Elon Musk, I've said this countless times, man. It's not a good look to have a bunch of these single moms out here, and you have a bunch of kids who you cannot be present in their homes. A lot of people look at Elon as an excuse of like, well, Elon does it. Doesn't matter. If you sit down and you're looking at this and you think this is not going to affect his relationship with the child, like if you're wondering, well, what's the problem? If I have money, I can do it. This is definitely going to affect how his child turns out in the very end of all this. Now, that's assuming that this is actually his child, right? If you're somebody who's highly triggered and can't understand nuance in conversations, and this is just not the conversation for you. He originally obviously thought it was his, but had reason to question it. I didn't know that he was questioning paternity for his child with Ashley St. Clair. This is kind of crazy. I think he definitely needs to go get a paternity test, find out if this is actually his child. But this is like baby mama drama and not a good look at the end of the day. Like, this does not help the image of Elon Musk. This is one crazy chick because you don't only want the money, but in the process of you getting what you want, you're willing to ruin the father of your child's reputation. This is not going to work well for her, right? This is just not going to end well. Whenever I see couples who are supposed to be co-parenting go to war, I never see it ending well at all.
Nasty work, but it worked. And as Shakespeare once said, there's no scorn like a baby mama's scorn. And today was yet another example of that.
I don't think Shakespeare said that. Top comment here says, an Amber Heard is having her second Elon baby. Somebody else, he says, Elon has been through this. This is not his first rodeo. Look at what he did to Grimes and their child. I think Ashley is not intelligent to learn from others' mistakes. Elon is the one with the money. It goes on to say here, remember Republicans always talked about family values. Yeah, you know, that's somebody else who says, but why are these women having babes with him? We can't skip over that. That's a good question. Guys, I'm not sitting here saying that these chicks don't know what they're doing. We all know exactly what they're doing. But this is stressing Elon out, especially in a time when he really doesn't need this type of drama. Somebody else responded back to her and said, because he sends her $500,000 a year and $2.5 million. Damn. Somebody else who says, right, I was going to go with 2.5 mil. I want an Elon baby too. Look at that. Women right there ready to have his children. Somebody else who says Elon is messy. Here's another person who says she's one of my favorite of his baby mamas. Now, the only reason this lady is saying that, the only reason why Aaliyah is saying that is because she loves the drama
Another day
that she's putting Elon through. What do you guys think of this? I thought this was pretty interesting. Of course, I'm more curious to know what you guys think. Moving on.
I feel like women can no longer complain about men not approaching us anymore because women for years online have been saying, don't approach me at the gym. I'm just here to get a workout. Don't approach me at the bar. I'm just here to have a good time and dance with my girls. Don't approach me at the library. I'm just trying to get my work done. Don't approach me at the grocery store. I'm just trying to do my shopping. We have been saying online for years to not approach us places because we're not there for a man and we're just trying to do our own thing and don't want to be bothered with it.
Right.
So men have stopped approaching women because of what women have been saying. You can't get mad at them because they actually listened. Like, what? I feel like something is not clicking here because then we have told men to stop approaching us. And now they have. But then you as a woman now don't want to approach men because that's not feminine. Or you don't chase, you attract. But now you can't even attract because we all have scared men out of approaching women in public. And now it's like, if you actually do want more men to start approaching you, we kind of got to take back what we said and just be like, no, you can approach us. Maybe just don't be a head or a creep or a weirdo. Approach us respectfully. If we reject you, move on and be respectful about it. Just because I reject you doesn't mean you have to call me a fat. Just take the rejection and move on. All right, so if you're complaining that men aren't approaching you, just realize it's our own fault.
All right, so in short, she's like, hey, we brought this whole situation of men not approaching us on ourselves by telling them to stop approaching us. And you know what they did? They finally listened. So, yeah, I think she's right. I believe that's exactly what happened. And then she went on to talk about how, maybe guys should be nicer and women can say, hey, just be nicer if we reject you. Maybe I'm being too biased here. But let's be real. When I look back, because I came up around the time when guys did approach women. And when I look back, I don't remember a lot of my friends being intentionally rude or disrespectful when they got rejected. Now, maybe I was in a particular circle of men and that was happening in other circles, and those were the circles that were approaching more than we were, but I used to approach a lot, because at some point when you get used to approaching women, especially when you're out with your boys, it turns into a sort of like competition. But I don't remember anybody I was with being that disrespectful and cursing some chick out. I guarantee that it happened for sure. But to the point where it was happening at mass, for that to be the excuse that women are like, we don't want to be approached anymore. I don't know. I don't think that was it. Maybe I'm wrong. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What I think really fueled this is feminism and women believing that they qualify for better than they actually deserve. Right? Like, when did the delusion start to really skyrocket? That's what I think really propelled all the, not you, with the rise of social media, dating apps. I think that's what really did it. And the idea of the men who they were seeing approaching them, which those are your real options, right? Because if the guys you think are your real options were actually real options, they would be approaching you. But I think that's what started to happen. Delusion started to grow because you're getting a bunch of likes on social media as a woman. You're being exposed to more men, more opportunities for dudes to clap your cheeks. And now you're thinking, okay, because the surgeon, I gave it up to him and he told me he would make me a wife, but he just changed his mind. He happened to change his mind after I gave up the cheeks. That's my new standard. Dating apps there, you're matching left and right because we know guys go on dating apps to get laid. Now you go into the real world and you notice the dudes who are approaching you aren't 6'7", and you're like, what's going on? I deserve better than this. That's what I think happened. But guys, let me know. Comment down below. Let's check out a few of these comments. Top comment here says, now they're saying that the dating pool is dry, but they exclusively date anyone over 6 feet and have a whole roster. Somebody else here says, I used to approach. I stopped after I became nothing but a humiliation ritual. Damn. Yeah. Somebody else here added, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Here somebody else says, my wallet fatter ever since. Another person here added, also all the anti-men agenda. Listen, I actually believe that if you can stomach it in today's climate, as a man, you'd be at such a great advantage if you learn to approach women more. And it's always been more rejection than it is a yes. And, you guys know I've been pretty consistent with that over a long period of time, even though I understand why a lot of guys are hesitant. Chicks can be kind of mean, right? The nasty looks. I get it. And I don't think a lot of women really know what it's like for women to get validation from turning you down, because there's a lot of that happening as well.
Yeah, so this is literally just a size king. A lot of women who want tall men, they want to be made to feel small and dainty and little and fit so cozy in their arms and their hands. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I personally have talked to short, kind of tall, and tall men, all right? I love a good tall man, but I'm not gonna be insane as someone who's 5'3" and say, oh, you have to be 6 foot. Because what is a couple of inches? I don't understand, the infatuation with the specific number of 6 foot. Yeah, so this is literally just...
All right, guys, that's it. Listen, of course, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think of today's episode? Leave your comments and thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys, as always, for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. We'll talk soon. I'm out. Peace.